No Man's Sky, Expedition 8 Polestar Redux, Easy Step-by-Step Guide. Hello No Man's Sky, welcome to a special episode of No Man's Sky, Expedition 8 Polestar Redux, an easy step-by-step guide, where you can tag along with me in my journey from start to finish, and of course I'll include all of my quick tips. So without further ado, let's begin today's expedition. Please note, do not install any of your freighter mods. I repeat, hold on to all of your freighter mods until I explain why later. Do not use them on your starter freighter. Alright guys, first things first. Let's talk to the commander and read the first log to complete the first milestone named Emergency, where we must read log number 1. After this, I took my shuttle and headed to this planet in the starter system where we can find pretty much everything we need here as far as resources go. Once you land, you'll complete the milestone named Planetside, where we must set foot on land. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I spent a good 40 or so minutes duplicating all the items and materials I'll need, as I don't want to spend too much time farming for my mats. I'd rather get them duplicated so I don't have to worry about really anything for the rest of the expedition except for the tasks at hand. Okay, now that I've gathered and duplicated all my expedition materials, I can focus on the task at hand, which is to repair my freighter and complete the milestone named All Hands on Deck, where we must repair critical freighter systems. Alright guys, moving on to a very easy milestone where we must construct a refiner room on our freighter. So let's go ahead and do that to complete the milestone named A Well-Oiled Machine. Okay travelers, let's fuel up our freighter and warp it to another system to complete the next milestone named Engage Engines. But before we do, I want to install my interstellar scanner and knock off another milestone named Galactic Catalog, where all we have to do is install the interstellar scanner. Set course for any system and engage, warp 9, to knock off Engage Engines. Okay travelers, we're in for another easy task. Let's knock off the milestone named Supercargo, where we have to construct a storage room on our freighter. Okay everyone, let's head over to Rendezvous 1 now, and once we arrive in the system, before heading out, let's access our fleet command room. Go ahead and build at least 3 of those rooms for a later milestone, but for right now, let's access the log and head over to the marker. Okay, now that we've completed that phase, let's head back to the ship, talk to the commander, and read log number 2, so we can complete the next milestone named Into the Black, where we must read log number 2. Alright guys, next up is another straightforward task. Let's head over to Rendezvous number 2. Once we arrive and collect our rewards, be sure to scan as many minerals as you can under the water to complete a milestone named Prospector from Phase 4, where we must scan a total of 8 minerals. Another easy one to knock off the list. Also, before you go, make sure to grab some salt and crystal sulfide, so you won't have to go looking for it in the future, as you will need the crystal sulfide in particular, but the salt also comes in handy. Okay travelers, head back to your freighter now and let's install an orbital exocraft materializer so we can strike off the milestone named Drop Protocol, where we must do just that. Now that that's done, let's find any planet with water and install our Nautilon submarine to complete the milestone named Freedom of the Stars. Alright guys, let's head back to the freighter now and install a teleport chamber in our freighter's base building area to finish off the task named Across Infinity. And moving on to another easy peasy one, let's head down to a planet or two and scan some flora, as we'll need 14 out of 14 to complete the next milestone named the Engine of Life. Okay, now that that's done, we can head back to our freighter again and construct a double cultivation chamber to knock off another milestone named the Air We Breathe, and this also marks the end of Phase 2. Congratulations, travelers. Okay, let's head over to the next rendezvous point so we can read the ship's logs and complete the next milestone named Homesick, where we must read log number 3. Alright, let's find that marker now and head over to rendezvous number 3 where we can collect our rewards. Okay, travelers, now head on back to your freighter and construct a stellar extractor room to complete the next milestone named Power and Industry. Next up, let's do the Wing Commander milestone where we must recruit 3 pilots to our squadron. All I did was head over to my freighter's upgrade console, opened up the slots, headed down to my launch bay and recruited 3 pilots that were all luckily there, so I didn't even have to leave my freighter. And I really lucked out because they were all S-class. Not that that makes a difference, but it sure was a neat surprise. Alright everyone, now that we've sorted that out, let's complete the next milestone named Galactic Defender, where we must shoot down 8 pirates. All I did was warp from system to system until a hostile scan was initiated, and defended myself until all 8 ships were counted as complete. Okay guys, this next milestone is named Called by the Stars, where we must complete 3 out of 3 fleet expeditions from our freighter. To do that, let's make sure we have a ton of units. If you're not familiar with duplication, watch one of my duping vids to learn how. I just duplicated myself enough chromatic metal to gain around 25 million, which paid for all of my frigates, and also to complete another milestone named Gold Like Sand from Phase 4, where we must make at least 6 million units. Now before we go looking for frigates, let's purchase a ship on the space station and salvage it to complete another milestone named Recycling, where we must process a starship into salvage. Also, before you leave the space station, head over to the cartographer and grab yourself an emergency cartographic data chart and duplicate yourself at least 5 or 6 for another milestone coming up later. Alright guys, now let's warp from system to system and get some frigates. You can find recruitable frigates by switching to your cockpit view and looking for a big purple rectangle on your map. Once you have about 15 or more frigates, we can send our ships out on expeditions, so it's important to have a good chunk of units, as it's time to spend until we knock off another milestone named Mission Control, where we must command a fleet of at least 5 frigates. But in this case, more is better. The stronger your fleet rating is, the better your chances are of success. Okay, the next step is to craft a bunch of frigate fuel so your frigates can actually go out on these expeditions. And I even went as far as killing a bunch of sentinels with a mining beam to get these quad servos to craft fuel oxidizers, as adding 3 of these will remove 10% of your expedition time for a total of 30%. So it's very important you craft these. And no, you don't have to kill the walker, I just did because I wanted its brain to install a scanner in my vector. Alright, now that we're back on board the freighter, send your ships out ASAP, and make sure each of them has 3 fuel oxidizers attached to them before sending them out. Okay, now that we have to kill some time, let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone and construct a scanner room in our freighter to complete the next milestone named Farseer, and let's also construct a galactic trade room to complete Home Comforts. Alright fellow travelers, hop in your starship and start blasting some asteroids, as we need to destroy 30 of them to complete the next milestone named Stardust. Alright, remember when I told you to grab and duplicate yourself some emergency cartographic data charts? Let's go set some off until we find a distress signal. The first few attempts may not even be a distress signal, however. You could get an abandoned building, for example. But keep trying. You may even get a crashed ship, but with an alien present, so you can't claim the ship. That's fine too. Keep scanning until you find a distress signal, and let's find a crashed ship to complete the reclamation milestone for finding and restoring a crashed vessel. Once that's done, let's head on over to any planet and start scanning creatures to complete a Life Beneath the Sky milestone where we must discover 15 creatures. Now, I wasn't cool with how long these fleet expeditions were taking, so I created a save point each time I landed in a new space station by simply landing and exiting my ship before taking off to the next space station until I came across a space fight. Once I did, I spent 30 minutes reloading the fight from the point that all the pirates were gone, and we are in the freighter about to either accept the reward or claim the one-time free freighter. If the freighter was anything less than an A class, I wouldn't accept it, and reloaded my save point to before the fight to re-roll the dice. I got lucky and received an S-class freighter, upgraded the entire ship, and added all the salvage fleet beacons from before. Once you install these, you'll knock off 15% time from your expeditions, which is why I mentioned at the beginning of the video not to use them until I specified. Not only can you put them into supercharged slots to knock off over 30% per, but your current expedition will just transfer over to your new freighter. Once I installed this, 2 of my expeditions were instantly done with, and only one remaining with about 2 hours left to complete the milestone named Called by the Stars, and Phase 2's a wrap. Alright travelers, so let's read log 4 now and head over to the next rendezvous point to knock off another 2 milestones and put an end to Phase 4 as well. Alright guys, another easy one. Let's read another log and head over to our last rendezvous point, number 5. Okay, fellow travelers, this is it. Let's head up into space, open up our ship's inventory, and construct the homeworld repeater. Just head into warp and press enter on your repeater to initiate its scan. Once you get prompted with a signal, stop and open up communication to receive blueprints on the Singularity engine, which we're going to install right now. Once that's installed, head on over to the commander and engage the Singularity engine to complete Superluminal and Phase 5. Congratulations, fellow travelers, that's another successful expedition. All that's left now is to head on over to your main save and reap your rewards. Well, fellow travelers, thanks again for tuning in to this special episode of No Man's Sky, Expedition 8 Polestar Redux. I really hope you enjoyed this vid, and I hope this easy step-by-step guide helps some travelers out there along their adventure. And, if it did, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Also, if you enjoy our channel and wish to see more content, perhaps consider supporting us by smashing that like button. Well everyone, thanks again for tuning in, and as always, have yourself a positive day and know that you matter. This is your friend the Traveler, signing out.
Smash that like button and tickle the little bell icon.